All right, guys. Welcome to Wednesday Night Standard here at GameSwap in Mason, Ohio. Brought to you by Top Deck Productions. My name's Patrick R. Savage, and I'm joined tonight by
Keely, better known as Ren.
Yeah, you guys can't see me do like the little hand motion that I did, but I did it.
No,
so here we have
camera back here right now, and it's sad.
Yeah, you can't see our beautiful faces. Yeah, so we have Robert Meadows here for round one. He's on his normal. I still refuse to call it this name. It is Grixis Midrange. He's playing more red cards than Bolas.
Yeah.
And then we got Tyler Yee on blue-black something. We're not 100% sure. We see it has Gear Hulk. We'll figure out what he's on. It shouldn't take too long. But yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Wednesday Night Standard. Hope you guys...
Beautiful Wednesday night here in Ohio.
Yeah. It actually isn't really nice. It's been kind of rainy the past few days. So I'm excited that we have not horrible weather.
Yeah. Although this weekend's going to be a little crummy, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Is it? I'm going to be at work,
it's
so...
supposed to possibly storm this weekend, which is great, considering it's dress rehearsal weekend for the Renaissance Festival.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Exciting.
Not really, but...
No, it really won't.
Yeah, so I think it looks like Tyler is on your normal blue-black mid-range. There's a chance he's still playing Grixis. And this is a card. This is a very important card in the matchup in Argul's Bloodfast. The Grixis colors do not have a great way to deal with enchantments, so this is going to be pretty hard for Robert Meadows to deal with. He is going to get out-card advantaged, assuming we're going to play anything that resembles a normal game.
Well, so far it looks like we're just blue-black, mid-range, something or other.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see anything crazy from Tyler's side yet, so I'm pretty safe to call this mid-range. Control only rarely plays Aether Hub, and they don't play Argul's Bloodfast in the main deck, so... Oh, it looks like he actually has 2 copies of Argul's Bloodfast in hand. It's not a card you want multiples of.
That's awkward.
Although he did finally find a non-entry needing blue source, which is good for Tyler.
Is Bloodfast one of the ones that is a May flip?
Yes. So the way you can figure that out is if they do something on their front side, they are a May. So Legion's Landing and Growing Lights of Illamoc are the 2 that are not a May. You have to flip them because
there's no reason not to.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah.
There's really no reason not to.
I mean, they don't do anything on their front side. That's like they wanted to make sure that that was an option. You couldn't forget to transform one of those enchantments. And so I kind of like where Tyler's at right now. He's been doing things that impact the board.
Yep.
And then we both have Bloodfast in play now, so that's a good way for Robert Meadows to catch back up.
Yep, both got card advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler has Hostage Taker in his deck, which I don't think is a card he wants here.
No, it's not something that's going to do him a whole lot of good right now.
Yeah. Looks like Tyler's just going to pass the turn. He does have, I believe, 2 copies of Torrential Gear Hulk in his hand, which are going to be really good for him to play at instant speed. I expect we'll see some card drawing here from the Bloodfest.
Let's see. Looks like we are having some slight difficulties again this week.
I'm also just a pretty loud person, so if I sound louder than you, that might just be the reason for it.
Well, the other thing is, with me being also fairly loud, it really shouldn't be an issue to hear me.
No, I can hear you. It's fine.
And it looks like fiddling with things has at least gotten a little bit better.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see what is going to happen with the Torrential Gear Hulks at Tyler's end step. See if he wants to throw them off and possibly play into an Essence Scatter from Robert. I don't think there's a really big need to. This is kind of a waiting game. Unfortunately, Tyler didn't have anything like the turn 2 Glint Sleep Siphoner.
Right.
That really does pace how these games play out.
Right, and all we've seen from Tyler thus far is the Bloodfast.
And I mean, he Essence Scattered Glint Sleep Siphoner from Robert's side.
As far as permanents go, though.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Here we have a Champion Wits. Not super threatening, but it is definitely something that needs to be answered. Otherwise, it's going to be a very nice source of card advantage if it gets eternalized.
Here we got draw 2.
Maybe this is a way for Tyler to get the extra Bloodfast out of his hand.
Yep.
Which is huge.
Let's see what else he's going to pitch here. It's looking like a Fatal Push.
Mm-hmm.
Not something that's going to be doing him a whole lot of good in this matchup either.
Not at this point. You want to leave in like 1, maybe 2 copies of this card after board, so you can deal with Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
Right.
So that is one of the big ways. The main cards in this matchup are the 2-drops. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, Arguel's Bloodfast, and if these players have it, search for Escanta. And I actually don't like Robert cycling this Canyon Slough here. He has a way to gain more cards in that Arguel's Bloodfast, and making sure you hit every single land drop is how you actually decide these mirrors. These matchups actually play very similar to a control mirror. Honestly, these decks, in relation to each other, the one that's more closely resembles a post-board control deck for a control mirror is the one that ends up winning.
Okay.
And this is a very big card for Robert Meadows in this matchup. He just drew his first copy of Nicol Bolas the Ravager.
Yep.
It's a card that even if it gets answered by something like a Veracity Contempt or Revolted Fatal Push, still gets the 2-for-1 because it does force Tyler to discard a card.
Yep.
And if Robert somehow ever gets to flip Nicol Bolas, ooh, good night, Tyler.
Lead on a Champion of Wits here.
Yeah, I think he's trying to bait out something like an Essence Scatter, but I'm not sure that's something you really want to Essence Scatter anyway.
Yeah, and he's drawing a lot of lands here.
But that's fine. Like, lands are not something that matters that much. Like, you want all the mana you can get because you have that search for Arguel's Bloodfast, because you have things like Champion of Wits and the activated ability on Nicol Bolas. Like, you want a lot of mana in this matchup. Your deck is very mana hungry.
Right, and it looks like Robert is holding up for the Vraska's Contempt in his hand here rather than running out the Bolas.
Yeah, and that makes sense. You don't want Tyler to somehow sneak a Scarab God through, and I think what Tyler should be doing here is he's got at least 1, maybe 2 copies of Glint Sleeve Sniper. I think he wants to get those into play.
Right.
I also think he wants to attack with his Champion of Wits here. He does have more mana by Robert based on the fact that I believe he was on the play, and so he is a land drop ahead and he has a lot of value in his hand. He could also run out the Hostage Taker here and play Robert Meadows' Champion of Wits, what it looks like he's going to do. And what Tyler does want to do here is he wants to cast a Champion of Wits immediately if Robert Meadows lets this trigger resolve, which he might not. He might just... Looks like he's going to Essence Scatter.
Yep.
A little bit of a misclarification there. Tyler kind of jumped the gun on saying what he was going to target. Obviously, there was only one real legal target, but still.
Right.
If you are aspiring to get into competitive Magic the Gathering, I do recommend making sure you know when your triggers are supposed to happen, so you don't give away unnecessary information like Tyler just did. Wasn't huge. They all knew what was going to happen. But, hey, small edges, man. Small edges.
So Robert's going to take another draw here.
Yeah. Looks like another copy of Veracity Contempt, which you can get flooded on. You don't want a ton of copies, especially against these 2- and 3-mana creatures.
And there's
the third one. Veracity Contempt really plays well against the Gear Hulks and especially the Scarab God. If someone has starts this game with an unanswered Scarab God, that's where we're really going to see someone pull ahead. Looks like Tyler does have a copy of Censor in his hand. I don't expect Robert to be playing around that card. But at this point, it's just kind of not really a game for Censor anymore because each player has 8 lands in play.
Discarding a Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
But here, the Censor's going to get him. So now this is the turn where we could see some fireworks from Tyler. We know he has a copy of Scarab God in hand.
And with Robert tapped out, this is definitely the best time to be slamming that.
Yeah, the problem is if you do play the Scarab God and then reanimate something so you still get your value off it, you're going to leave yourself open to a Nicol Bolas flip, which is powerful. It's not the end of the world. Nicol Bolas, if it's only in play for 1 turn, is answerable. It does take Robert Meadows' entire turn to do it.
Right.
But if he ever gets to untap with his Bolas, then you're going to be in big trouble. And it looks like, unfortunately, his land does come into play tapped for him. But I believe Tyler also has a copy of Veracity Contempt, so I kind of expect him to answer the Nicol Bolas right now while he can.
Yeah. There's no reason not to. This is going to be one of the big things.
There is a reason not to, that I just saw. It's the second copy of Hostage Taker.
Oh, that is pretty good.
So, it looks like we're going to take Nicol Bolas. Now, can we pull Nicol Bolas up on the screen real quick? What I really want to check on is how his last ability is worded. All the other flip planeswalkers, whenever you activate them, they exile themselves and return to the battlefield under their owner's control.
I believe this one also
I believe it has to, due to how the rules work, because of planeswalkers. Yeah, so actually, Tyler doesn't want to flip this Nicol Bolas because it will return itself to Robert. But just having in play, Robert's only real way to answer it is the Veracity Contempt, in which case it will be exiled. So this was Hostage Taker did work, and this battlefield is now heavily swung in Robert's favor, or in Tyler's favor.
And unfortunately, Catnibus, it is not Friday yet.
Not yet.
It was.
I also wish it was. I actually get to go to FNM this Friday. I'm very excited. I normally work on Fridays.
That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna be at Cast Camp for the Renaissance Festival.
Hey, that sounds
Which
fun.
I always look forward to. It's always a lot of fun.
I've only been to a Renaissance Festival once. I really enjoyed it. I'm also a huge fan of turkey legs.
That's fair.
So,
what festival have you been to?
It was the one in Columbus. It was a while ago. It was
so like one of the little itty bitty tiny one-day ones.
No.
No.
It was like the Columbus. Like I think it was like the Ohio Renaissance Festival.
In Harveysburg.
Maybe, I don't know.
Near Caesars Creek?
Possibly. I lived in Columbus at the time. I was.
So it was probably OR.
I was also 13 and about to have major surgery.
Fair enough.
Let's be real, I wasn't really paying that much attention.
So what I'm hearing is, so you're going to be coming and visiting us this year.
If I have time.
You should.
I do want to.
It's a lot of fun. And those of you who, in chat who live in this area can also come and visit. It's a good time.
Yeah. The only thing that I remember is there were these two guys that were both manning weapons, like booze. They were selling things like axes and swords because that's a thing that happens at the Renaissance Festival.
Sure is.
And they were having a competition about who could market themselves the best.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they were saying these weird things like to bring people in, and all of a sudden one guy just grabs the biggest axe he can, shoves it up on the counter, and just yells, "Come get your school supplies."
Yeah, that sounds like our boothies.
Yeah, so that was
exactly like our boothies.
That was hysterical.
I love people who work at Renaissance Festival. Not just saying as someone who does, but as a general rule, people who work at a Renaissance Festival are some of the best people you will ever meet.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
And it looks like Robert Meadows does not want to really do anything about this Nicol Bolas. I think he's had an opportunity to Veracity Contempt, and he's chosen not to right now. But now we've just gotten to
the black mana. Oh no, that is that a swap?
So he has three sources of untapped black mana in total, and he's playing around Gearhulk Censor, but he is not playing around Gearhulk Essence Scatter. And so my guess is we're going to see a Gearhulk Essence Scatter further putting Tyler ahead on the battlefield.
Gearhulk and into the Essence Scatter.
Yeah, Tyler would have loved to be able to censor that, but Rob Meadows doesn't have anything to do with that one mana. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that that censor was able to snap something off like it did.
So it looks like, we're going to flip the
We're flipping the Temple of Akhlazat. So now what Robert can do...
With his 3 Vraska's Contempts in hand.
Yeah, his hand is literally 3 Veracity Contempts and a Fatal Push, and he only has 4 mana. So I kind of expect here we're going to see his way to stay alive is Veracity Contempting the Gearhulk and then pushing the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. And then he can block the hostage taker and sacrifice. No, that even doesn't even leave him alive. Yeah, this is rough. This is, I believe, Robert Meadows is just dead on board. Well, no, because he gains 2 life off Rask attempt. So he goes to 7. So he can survive at 1 life. Actually, or... So he can survive at 2 because the Temple of Aclazotz now does give him another black mana. Which is actually pretty big for him here.
Yeah, it's slightly more relevant here than the life gain.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised Meadows just didn't fire off the Vrassic attempt when he did. It depends on what he wants to target with it. I'm pretty sure he wants to target the Nicol Bolas.
Yeah,
but
that's
now
one of the better targets for it here.
Because like you're gonna get got by Supreme Will, and so I think giving your opponent 2 more draws at the Supreme Will is probably pretty bad. And here we see the shove, and we're gonna need to Vrassic Contempt here.
Let's see if the push comes to the shove.
Ho-ho. There's a Fatal Push in his hand.
There is a Fatal Push in his hand.
But I think
I make bad puns.
I think the best thing to do here is trade with the champion, and then Vrassic Attempt the Bolas. Like, you have to Vrassic Attempt the Bolas here. That's something that has to happen, because otherwise you're just going to take too much damage. So he's looking at all his options, which is fine.
Yeah,
he actually can use his energy to cast the Contempt, and then he can still sacrifice the champion.
But that will leave him pushless.
That is true. So I just don't think there's a good way he can come back from this, because he's so far behind.
Alright, so there goes.
Justin, can you move the card viewer? Thank you.
Ha!
Yes.
Thank you, Luke.
She is the real champion of
I'm glad
Blitz.
my joke was appreciated with another pun. Best.
See, I could do my own bad jokes here, but I don't really want to.
I will take any opportunity provided to me to make a bad joke.
Yeah.
Granted, I like to joke. 3 years of improv training at the Renaissance Festival just so I
Yeah,
can make bad jokes.
that is true. Alright, so now we can push the Hostage Taker because we do have Revolt from the Champion of Wits dying. But we're still facing down all of this power.
Yeah, it's
from
quite
these
the barrel to be
Gunslinger.
facing.
You know what Rod Meadows really needs right here that he doesn't have in his deck? It's Goblin Chainwhirler.
Yeah. Chainwhirler would be pretty great right here.
Goblin Chainwhirler would be really nice here.
And as our stream runner points out, Bantu's Last Reckoning wouldn't necessarily hurt.
It wouldn't be great. The fact that you have to, like, not do anything the rest of your turn so that your lands you'll have mana to do stuff next turn is fine. So, looks like he's eternalizing Champion of Wits here, realizing that he does need to find more action. So we're going to draw 4 cards. A Braid's good. Liliana's not bad, but it's not what he needs right now. It's a card that's going to be able to let him get back into the game, but we need to, like, stabilize first.
So we're going to drop the 2 cycling lands.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have the mana to do that at all.
Right.
So we have 3 mana to work with.
Or possibly 2 mana and 4 life if necessary.
Yeah, I think what's probably going to have to happen is we're going to have to abrade a Glitsleeve Siphoner, and we're going to have to block the champion and then possibly sack our own champion. We don't have to on board yet, but we might want to. I don't know. And I'm not 100% sure how much energy Tyler is at because his ticker is a little bit off screen. But there's still a chance that Robert would have wanted to use his kill spell on Tyler, and like before Tyler gets to untap. I think a lot of people tend to, like, when they have instants, try to play a little bit too tricky. And like, oh, I have an instant, I can cast it whenever I want. But sometimes letting your opponent draw the extra card, in this case 2 extra cards, is not the world's best idea. If you just look at Tyler's hand, like double Scarab God, another Champion of Wits, Torrential Gearhulk.
And Tyler's Alcazatz is also flipped at this point.
Yeah. The big thing is, though, that Robert not only has to stabilize this board, he has to answer what Tyler has in play. He then has to answer, like, what Tyler's going to do next.
Right.
Like, if Robert Meadows doesn't use his kill spell or sacrifice his Eternalized Champion of Wits, he is going to die, so he has to do that.
But there goes the Abrade.
Yeah, there goes the Abrade. So I expect here, I think Robert should have let Tyler attack, because now there's no reason to attack with the Champion of Wits, and you can't block the Glintsleeve Siphoner.
No, he's still going to go for it.
I mean, I guess he wants it in his graveyard, which is fine. No, he's not even going to put it in the graveyard. He's just going to sacrifice it. But now Tyler just gets to play the Scarab God and activate it. And hold up the Temple of Alcazatz in case Robert Meadows casts Vraska's Contempt. Which he does have in hand. So there is no point in this game, I think, at all, where Robert Meadows is going to get to tag the Scarab God with a Vraska's Contempt if Tyler plays this correctly. Looks like he's going to choose to play Champion of Wits, discarding
a swamp
and Federation. Looks like we're just going to Doomfall the hand, which is fine. Knowing that these decks don't have any real sweepers, these decks don't play Bontu's Last Reckoning. They don't play... What even other sweepers are there in these colors in Standard right now? Sweltering Suns? I don't know. I just kind of want to push my board. Like, the Grixis deck is going to use spot removal, so if you just throw too many threats at them, then you're going to be fine. I probably would have played a Scarab God here and held up an activation on Robert's Torrential Gearhulk in his graveyard that I'm pretty sure he still has in graveyard. I could be wrong.
Still in graveyard.
But it should be still in his graveyard.
We just saw it as they were going through
Robert's
graveyard.
So I don't know what Tyler's plan is here. He's gonna. I think he wants to leave up his own Torrential Gearhulk, but I don't know if Tyler just plays the Scarab God. I don't think Robert can come back from this at all. Now that there's only 6 power in play, Robert might have a shot. It's small. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about like 1 to 2% differences here.
Yep, and it looks like we're on a Windmill Slam. Well, basically Windmill Slam a Scarab God.
Yeah, and actually, Tyler doesn't have a way to prevent this from getting an activation. So wait, this is interesting. Because now Robert Meadows can hold up an activation on his own Torrential Gearhulk to counter any Torrential Gearhulk Tyler might play.
Looks like Robert's back in this game. Kind of.
Almost.
Slightly more back into this game.
Yeah.
Than he was.
But if Tyler had his own Scarab God in play here, and he has more mana right now, he can just, like, counter any activation Meadows tries to make. So
let's see what we got here from Tyler this turn.
I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a way to deal with this Scarab God. But maybe there's not. Champion of Wits, Fetid Pools. Is that 2 more Scarab Gods?
I believe that is 2 Scarab Gods in his hand.
Oh, that's right. We knew because he didn't play one.
Yep, there's 1. Yep, there looks like 2.
Ransom, are you just talking about... Yeah, he does that a lot, especially when he's behind... or if he's just enjoying himself. And these guys are friends, and I'm also pretty good friends with Robert. So I've played a lot of Magic with him, and yeah, he'll just literally throw cards onto the table at a more casual... He doesn't do that at things like GPs or Opens, but he definitely does do that in a more casual setting.
When we say he's like 12, we're not
joking at all. He is...
like 12.
Like, he's pretty much a 12-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, granted, to me, you're also like 12, but you're both younger than me.
That's true. I at least sometimes act my age. Yeah. I don't throw cards, and I don't treat my cards like they're actually just scraps of paper I picked off my teacher's desk.
Right.
So Tyler's got some decisions to make here. And does he have a Vraska's Contempt in his graveyard?
I am not certain.
Because if he doesn't have a way to answer this Scarab God, that's how Robert gets back in this game.
Right.
So we do have a lethal attack. But he's going to activate Scarab God. I don't know if Tyler has anything in his graveyard to get back. I think Robert Meadows has been very careful not to put a Champion Wits in his graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
I also just keep saying Robert's full name, and I don't know why. I don't know why.
Well, at least you're not calling him,
Oh, Hostage Shaker! He's got a Hostage Shaker in his graveyard!
That's
I
pretty
forgot
good.
about that!
So we're gonna take out the Glinsleeve Siphoner.
Oh, this is huge! I mean, we're gonna sack the Glinsleeve Siphoner. That's gonna happen.
Right, so that does definitely take some damage out of...
No, Robert's not taking anything.
Yep.
And he still has the Temple activation up. You guys can't see my face, but my mouth is agape.
It is.
Like,
Can confirm.
Robert might actually get back in this game.
Man, this has sure been a hell of a game one.
Yeah. See what Tyler does, because Tyler's been leaving up this Torrential Gearhulk almost every turn. Mm-hmm. And Robert Meadows knows that. Like, he's seen all that mana that's being floated. And these are both mid-range decks. Like, mid-range decks want to spend all their mana. And I think Tyler's best play here is to play the Scarab God and activate it.
We do also have a Liliana in Tyler's hand.
Yeah, but what is he getting back?
That's not going to do it.
A Glinsleeve Siphoner? He's getting back...
did he not just pitch a Scarab God from the Champion of Wits this turn?
Did he? I didn't see it, but he might have. So it looks like we're going to Field of Ruin the Temple on Robert's side.
It looks like Robert's considering whether or not to activate.
I think the answer is no,
yeah.
because Tyler's at 4, and the Scarab God's upkeep trigger is going to put him very close to dead.
Right.
How much mana? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can do 2 activations of the Scarab God.
So
one of them can get a Torrential Gearhulk.
I do believe that is a Scarab God in his graveyard.
Okay. But he can't activate it. And Tyler's tapped his Temple.
So he's going to sacrifice his own...
Robert, what are you doing? I think Robert just threw the game.
Well, let's see how this plays out. As he tries to find the 11, there we go.
If this is how it's going to play out, how I think it's going to play out, I think Meadows was going to win. I think Tyler's going to play the Liliana and get back his Scarab God. And then when Meadows untapped in response to the Scarab God trigger, he could have activated targeting his own Gearhulk, exiling Tyler's Scarab God, and then gotten back literally anything else. Tyler's at... what do you gain? Like, oh, Tyler
was at 5.
Tyler goes to 2, and Robert has a 5/5 and a 4/4 attacking against 1 blocker. Now, to me right now, it looks like Tyler's just going to leave up this Torrential Gearhulk.
Right.
Pure Win TV says it was a Hostage Shaker in the graveyard. Well, no, the Hostage Shaker that was in Tyler's graveyard is now in play on Robert's side. I can't really get a good look on his graveyard, but I think Ren was right. I think that is a Scarab God.
Right, because we knew he had 2 in hand.
No, wait, no, but the other Hostage Shaker got Fatal Pushed. There were 2 in his graveyard. There's a lot of track in this game. So now, you're right, Pure Win. There was another. So now we're pushing that Hostage Taker. Now we get our Scarab God back. Okay. Wait, is there an Abrade? There's an Abrade. Yeah, Meadows threw this game. Meadows could have won this turn. If he has a Scarab God in play, he can activate the Scarab God twice. For the first on his own Gearhulk, getting back a Braid, destroying Tyler's Gearhulk. Then you activate again, targeting Tyler's Gearhulk, cast Contempt on the Champion of Wits, you put Tyler to 3 and then attack him for 5. That was the line.
Here's the Gear Hulk.
Now we're going to activate targeting our own Gear Hulk in Contempt. Now, the Scarab God that Tyler plays will still not have a Gear Hulk to get back.
Scarab God in Tyler's graveyard. I just saw it absolute 100% certain.
Okay. This game, for a game that I thought Tyler had, it was like 98% to win, which I think if he played a little differently, I think this game is completely different. I think that turn he just passed and didn't really do a whole lot with Torrential Gear Hulk mana up. I think if he just plays his Scarab God and either activates it on the Gear Hulk that's in Robert's graveyard, or if he just passes with the threat of activation, I think this game changes completely. I think Tyler gave Robert a little too much time and a little too much leeway to do his own thing. And I think that's why we actually have a game right now.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to get the Scarab God on Tyler's side.
Yeah, and very importantly, one of these Scarab Gods is protected from Vrasa's Contempt by a Temple of Aklazas for Tyler, and Robert's not. Right. And that could be huge. Now, Robert has already seen 3 of his Contempts.
Alright, so Hostage Taker taking the Scarab God.
Yeah, and Robert needs a way to answer this 4/4, or else this is not going to go well for Robert.
Going down tap. Checking graveyard again.
Alright, so what's in Robert's hand? He has a Bolas and the Contempt. Ooh, there's a Liliana. What does that do? Not a whole lot, but now we can Contempt the Hostage Taker and get our Scarab God back. What is exclamation mark points? Ransom. I don't know what this is.
That's part of the giveaway.
That's part of the giveaway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get to that in between games, because boarding's probably going to take a hot second.
Yeah. Apologies, I'm not that accustomed with Twitch and its commands.
Well, I was supposed to become quite intimate with the giveaway last night, I kind of got thrown under the bus for it.
Who'd you get thrown under the bus by?
Matt and Jake.
Oh, no one cares what Jake thinks.
Well, the giveaway is kind of Matt's baby.
That's fine. Matt
Matt
actually matters. So now Robert has a Scarab God, and Robert's at... Is that correct? Is Robert actually at 13 now? That's a big discrepancy in life totals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like I should mention that both of these players, I feel like, have thrown the game at certain points.
So it looks like we got one activation up for the Scarab God from Robert.
Yeah, and the problem right now is that Robert is incentivized to activate the Scarab God, and anything he targets, Tyler will just do in response. And yeah, this is the big issue, because Robert can't answer the opposing Scarab God, and so now Robert activates the Scarab God, and whatever he targets, Tyler is just going to activate on in response.
Yeah, so let's see what he's got here.
I think the only targets are another Scarab God and the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Yeah, this game's taking a long time, Pure Win.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to target the... Oh, no, it looks like he might target a Champion of Wits.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because Tyler's just going to do whatever... Is just going to activate on whatever Robert targets.
Right.
Just effectively counter. At least he should.
Yeah.
Hello, Hero. We will talk about that after this game. Don't worry.
Hopefully is not going to go to time.
Yes. Even then, we'll still talk about it after the game. I don't think so. I think we're on the last few turns. The fact that one player is about to have his own Scarab God in play, I think is going to be pretty... Like, that's how these games are normally decided.
So Tyler's going to go to 7.
But yeah, Robert can't get in with his 4/4, and Tyler still has a Scarab God activation up plus a Temple of Aclazot's activation. So now we can just attack for 5.
Yep.
It's possible that this game is 101. I feel like the post-board matches will go a little bit quicker because they'll have a little less bad cards. But I mean,
and they have a lot of information on each other's decks at this point.
Yeah, these main deck Doomfalls are getting Robert.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see another Liliana get got here. Oh no, we're gonna see Nicol Bolas get got.
Because the Liliana doesn't matter. I actually don't think
true.
the Liliana gets anything out of Robert's graveyard, and 2/2s are insignificant on this board. Now we're making sure we pay the correct mana. Okay, now we're killing Tyler's Temple. And yeah, I think he should sacrifice his champion in response.
Yeah, so he's gonna go to
his
9.
champion wants to be in the graveyard.
He's gonna go to 8. It's a 2/1, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So you gain 1 point of health. I honestly think Robert Meadows, he's facing away from the clock we have. I think if he could see the clock, I think he would concede right now. Robert Meadows is one of the people that agrees with me on strategic concessions.
Actually, Meadows is on the side where he could see the clock.
Is
Tyler
he?
Can't.
Oh.
Yeah, Robert's facing toward the door.
Oh, okay. We changed it again. So Robert, I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't conceded by now then. Apparently they just checked the time.
Alright, so let's
Well,
see.
one of you saw more Scarab Gods. That's the important thing.
So Robert's considering what he's got engraved to be able to get.
Yeah, and
gonna go
I
ahead
think
and
the answer is
slam it.
nothing. Or at least nothing good. Maybe there's a champion. Oh, no.
That is not what he wants.
Robert, yeah, and we're
we're
going to see the skip. Milling that Gearhulk was horrendous for Robert, because now Tyler has access to a Gearhulk from a Scarab God side.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's going to be game 1. Going to Tyler, and we're going to see some quick sideboarding here, probably from these guys, so...
As they are sideboarding,
Ren,
so we're
yeah.
going to go ahead and talk about the giveaway we've got going on. I'm not sure if it's live right now. It will be live at the very least on this next coming Tuesday. So what we are doing right now is every Tuesday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, we are giving away a Commander 2018 deck.
I want to clarify, 10 p.m., correct?
Yes,
Yes.
10 p.m. EST. As we are live. You have to be here to win. So we have started instituting points as you watch, like a lot of other Twitch channels. You'll get, if you are not a subscriber, you get 5 mana for every 10 minutes that you watch. If you are a subscriber, it's 10 mana for every 10 minutes that you watch us. As you subscribe, you'll get 500 mana, and as you follow, you'll get 50 mana. So what the mana is going to do is it's going to be your entry into the giveaways. It is 25 mana per ticket. And you can have up to 10 tickets, at least that was what we did last week. I'm not sure if we're going to retain that, but I think we probably are. So the way that you enter is you're going to just exclamation enter. That will buy you 1 ticket. You can enter up to 10, so you can do exclamation enter space 10, and it'll give you your maximum of 10 tickets. And you can enter as long as you have enough mana and up to the 10 tickets, like I said. So you have to message us within 2 minutes to be able to win if you are picked on Tuesday night. And you do have to be here, obviously. You only have the 2 minutes. We will announce it on stream, and we'll get shipping information. If you live in the Cincinnati area, we can work something out to come pick it up and all of that. But this week we are giving away the Esper Aminato deck. So Subjective Reality, the most popular of the 4 decks.
It's the little girl that looks like she's from The Ring.
Yeah.
They're drawing it on Tuesday, Cab's kind.
Yep, so Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Well, Eastern Daylight Time, technically.
Is there a difference? I don't know.
Hour?
Time zones make no sense to me. Like, I understand why they exist, but like why they're named certain things, I don't understand.
Yeah, the names are goofy, and the only reason it's Eastern Daylight Time is because Ohio still follows Daylight Savings Time, and it's stupid.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm also going to make sure that we put the information up on the website.
Yeah,
if it's
I'm
not up
sure
there
if it's
already.
but...
So that is complicated. Dear Lord.
Oh, and it's also 100 mana for every 100 bits you cheer. We are also trying to connect it. It is 10.
10. 1-0 p.m.
Yeah.
Also known as 2200.
Also known as probably round 4 of our Tuesday night Modern League.
Yeah, probably around there. Yeah,
So,
God, these giveaways are complicated.
it's actually, it sounds a lot more complicated than it is.
I mean, probably.
You also cannot win if you are a mod.
Sorry, mods.
Yeah, so...
Who are our mods?
I know Robert is.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I mean, I'm not, but I also haven't used my Twitch account in forever.
Oh, you're in the UK? Awesome. That's great.
Well, we are glad to have you watching us out here in the
Doing it for the Vine. Love it. I actually, I don't know, one of the most... So last night I was working... yeah,
it looks
it's
like
working, guys.
So
So
our giveaway is live now, so you have all week to enter. You have all week to save up your mana and be able to enter. And we're also giving away all 4 of the decks. Last night we gave away the Esper deck.
But we're giving them the Esper deck right now.
Deck.
Okay.
Deck. I'm really bad at the shard names.
That's fine.
So last night we gave away Bant. This week we're giving away Esper. Next week we're giving away Saheeli. Or not next week. The Tuesday after. So September 4th.
We'll probably put a schedule online somewhere.
And September 11th we are giving away the Jund deck.
This guy's from Mexico.
You
guys are
a lot
great.
Of really cool international people.
This is great, guys. I love all the international people that end up watching this stream. If you guys have any offers, I really enjoy going to other countries. I've been to a lot of I've been to Mexico actually a couple times. I love it there.
I've never left Ohio, which is a lie, but I've barely left Ohio.
And then Europe is somewhere that I really want to go travel. I probably am going to try to do that after college. I've been saving up right now, but...
Also, Ball and Chain Roller, which, first of all, that is an awesome username.
Oh, amazing name.
So how you save up the manas is you're going to get them just by watching. Every 10 minutes you'll get an updated amount. 5 if you're subscribed, 10 if you're not. And I believe it's subscribed and not followed. Yeah, it is 10 mana for subscribers and 5 mana for non-subs. You'll also, if you subscribe, you'll get mana. If you follow, you'll get mana. If you cheer, you'll get mana. We're trying to hook it up to Patreon. For now, just by watching, you're going to start accumulating it.
Is there somewhere you can go to check on that?
So if you go into the chat and hit exclamation points, it will go ahead and tell you how many points you have and how you are ranked on our leaderboard. And fun fact, you can't be ranked higher than 4th because the 3 bots are taking up the first 3 slots.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. The bots are literally on here the entire time.
Yeah.
Quick update about the game. Robert Meadows is missing land drops. He will lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, the albino cow, for people who want an example of how it works, they just put it exclamation mark points. It says, told them they have 120 mana.
Yep. So you'll need a grand total of 250 mana to be able to enter for the 10 tickets. I'm not sure exactly how, I'm guessing it probably updates exactly at the 10-minute mark for however long you've been
Probably.
watching. I might be a programmer, but it's been a while.
I have no clue how any of this works.
I have a vague idea. I kind of was creeping on Matt while he was going through all of it and setting it up. And I'm the one who had to draw the winner last night. So, we also, topically, since we were talking about giving away the commander decks, I actually got the go-ahead for those of you who know how much of a commander player that I am.
She's a huge commander player.
I like to joke that I'm our resident commander expert.
It's not a joke. It's just 100% true.
For the basically nothing. That
Maybe Adam Olds can argue with you there.
I will fight him on that.
But yeah,
I got the go-ahead from Jake. It's not going to be on the stream, but it is going to be on our YouTube channel. In a series of 2 videos, I'm going to be releasing some updates on my version of updates of the commander decks. And we're going to be playing them out as the pre-cons and as my upgraded versions here in the next few weeks. I'm still working on them. And that will be our first introduction into Commander on the stream, and I'm super excited. I've been wanting to do this basically.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think there's I think one of the best ways to actually what was I gonna say? The best way to like reach the most Magic players, I think, is Commander content, because I think the majority of Magic players are into Commander. Ransom, the drawing will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on next Tuesday. Also 2200 hours next Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday.
If you're a heathen
August
like me
28th.
and use military time.
Hey, it makes more sense than standard.
It does. I actually love military time, and I think it makes so much more sense.
Yep, so you can also, like our good friend Luke just did there, you can also enter in multiples of up to 10. Just to be able to enter with however much mana you have.
Wait, who's Luke?
The albino cow.
Is that like Luke Browning?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Luke. I don't know
That's
Twitch
why
names.
I got excited and said, hey, Luke, when he was posing in chat earlier.
Yeah, I don't know Twitch names, so.
I just know Luke. Well, and Robert and Adam, because they use their real names.
That's true. Well, no, Robert doesn't. Or did he change?
He changed.
Oh, he changed it? I'm probably going to change mine soon. I made mine when I was, like, 15. It's like, it's Dreams of Dragons 31, I believe it is.
That's kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
Mine is Ankila Kylie, which is left over from my days as a Homestuck voice actress.
Yes. Sorry, Ransom. It is, you believe that you're right. The maximum is 10 tickets
the
that you can
maximum
get.
of 10 tickets, and it is 25 mana per ticket.
Is it actually called mana, or are we just calling it mana?
We call it ours mana.
Interesting.
You can
cool.
call it different points, whatever you like. I know, I'm trying to think. I watch Co-Carnage mostly on YouTube, and I know he has a different name for his point system. And I think a lot of them use different names, different point systems. It's really cool. And I'm really excited that we use mana.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
I'd be surprised if, or I wouldn't be surprised if Magic players who actually use this point system on Twitch actually did it too.
Mm-hmm.
So for the fact that Robert Meadows was missing a lot of land drops, he's actually kind of in this game. I know we haven't been talking about the game a lot, but here we do have a Torrential Gear Hulk flashing back something. I'm assuming it's a way to kill this 4/4. Or it's a Glimmer.
So there's 2 lands. I'm going to keep one, pitch the other. And draw another land.
Woo, lands. Hey, lands are important in Magic. I personally like playing decks that like to play a lot of lands, whether they be control or these blue mid-range decks, or my newest standard deck that I just have been playing for a couple weeks now, Turbo Fog.
Yay, Turbo Fog.
That deck's great. I don't want to hear any hate on it.
I would love to play standard, but I get bored like... Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but
You should try playing Turbo Fog. Turbo Fog is actually a very hard deck to play. I don't recommend it if it's your very first Turbo Fog. Plus, you have to buy both Nexus to Fates and Teferis.
Well, and the other I have one of each of those, so I'm already I'm 25% of the way there.
Yeah, if you were playing, then I would have let you borrow Turbo Fog. But you're back here with me.
But I have become our regular Wednesday night commentator because I like money and I like having my voice out there.
It's true. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is going to be my last week commentating standard for the foreseeable future.
Jake is now booing us from behind.
And he's booing me for saying that. But school comes first.
Yeah.
Love you, Patrick.
School does come first.
Ransom, the Turbo Fog deck is a lot of fun to play. It is complicated. There are a lot of very small interactions that don't come up when you're playing other decks. Like, for example, this is the one and only time I ever have a stop set on my personal end step on Moto. Because you need to, like, do stuff after your Teferi triggers resolve.
Mm-hmm. Get that sweet extra 2 mana in.
Excuse me, those are Gift of Paradise lands. We gotta get that extra 4 mana.
Very important.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of Turbo Fog players here in the store, because I'd love to see that on stream.
I offered almost all the people I knew today that if I offered it to Meadows that he could borrow Turbo Fog if he wanted to, and he chose not to.
But we all know exactly why. He does not want to play your deck and instead wants to play Bolas.
Is it because...
He wants to beat up Jake.
Yeah, he wants to beat up Jake in the mirror.
So hopefully we'll get to see that on camera tonight, and hopefully Robert will actually win that game.
Pure win. Turbo Fog is based... Oh, there's a lot of math and Teferi interactions.
Is it bad that that actually makes me slightly more interested in the deck?
No.
Because scary math.
There's a lot of ways you can play a turn 4 Teferi, not just with Gift of Paradise. Mm-hmm. Earlier today I messed up because I played a turn 3 Nissa Steward of Elements. Mm-hmm. And there's the scoop from Robert. I think he missed land drops. He got pretty behind early on in this game, and wow, this match actually naturally finished. I'm surprised.
And only almost went to time.
Yeah. But anyway, so I had in some Steward Elements, and I plus to Scry, and I saw basic land to Fairy, and not thinking about anything. Yeah, the one of Nissa, the very one of Nissa in the deck. But I bottomed the land to put the Teferi on top because I had a bunch of lands in hand, and I didn't need more lands. But if I put Teferi on top and then the basic land, I would draw Teferi for the turn. Then I could zero the Nissa, put the land into play, and play my Teferi on turn 4. So there's like these weird things like that that you don't see. Yeah, Fidel, I do agree with you that that is an annoying part. You just, I'm sorry, you just kind of sit there while your opponent does the combo, which is annoying. It's probably not great for Magic, but there's a lot of things like if you're gonna do that. Like, if they're going to do this style of deck, like Turbo Fog or, like, the New Perspectives, if you're going to win the game, you're going to win the game before they really get to do anything.
Right.
So...
And I will say, though, I love the art on Nissa Steward of Elements. It was my phone background for a while.
Great art.
Because, like, of course, I'm going to put my girlfriend as my phone wallpaper.
Of course, yeah.
Totally not Chandra or anything. Granted, I also still have Nissa as my phone background, but Chandra's my lock screen from the
that is
super sweet San Diego Comic-Con promos.
Yeah, that is the weird thing, because normally if someone's just storming off, like with Storm or KCI, you're pretty much incentivized to concede when they start going off, but with the Fog and New Perspectives, you're not... they're not 100% to win. It's pretty close to, like, there's definitely points where I've been like, okay, yeah, I am 100% to win. There's no way I'm whiffing now. Enjoy my last place at FNM because I'm playing Fog. Well, see, I'm actually a pretty quick player, and I know how to do the combo and everything, so...
Yeah, you're a good combo and control player.
It actually only takes me... I think... the longest it took me to do it online with all the clicking was, I think, 5 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, and now I had, and like, you have to have a way to actually close out the game, such as, I realize that now you're not aiming me, and that's fine. But you do, like, have to have an actual way to win the game, like Nissa or Karn. You can't just exile their entire deck with Teferi, because...
Well, it looks like you have a taker on Turbo Fog next week.
I will not be here next week. Next week starts college, my 4th year of college, and I have a night class on Wednesdays.
Well, you can always pitch it at Robert's head, and he can get it to Luke.
That's probably true. I should stream Turbo Fog in Modern.
That would be interesting.
Don't think Turbo Fog is a good deck in Modern.
That's fair. It'd still be interesting.
Yeah. And actually, guys, round 2 was just posted, so we just get to stay.
Yep.
We're just going to stay here.